evening. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Just wanted you to know, enjoy your time right now. If you could start making your way to the tables in a few minutes, would be much appreciated so we can begin tonight's festivities. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Steve Jones. I have been Stevenson's public address announcer for the past 11 years, and I'm proudly known as the voice of the Mustangs. I would like to welcome everyone to the 8th Annual Dick Watts Stevenson University Athletics Hall of Fame Banquet. It is my distinct honor to serve as this year's MC, helping to present tonight's program where we celebrate and honor the accomplishments of our student athletes and administrators. These people have laid the foundation for the unprecedented growth and success that we have enjoyed as Villa Julie College and Stevenson University. As our festivities proceed, please do not hesitate to enjoy this evening's meal. First, I would like to introduce the current members of the Hall of Fame who are in attendance with us this evening. Please come to the front of the stage for a group photo. First off, Brett Adams, Hall of Fame, class of 2019. MC McFadden, Hall of Fame, class of 2021. Carol Zimmerman, Hall of Fame, class of 2015. Tonya Cristino Ramsel, Hall of Fame, class of 2018. Kelly Matthews, Hall of Fame, class of 2014. Fran Fiddler, Hall of Fame, class of 2016. Tim Campbell, Hall of Fame, class of 2018. Steve Seegers, Hall of Fame, class of 2021. Kara Hill Collins, Hall of Fame, class of 2018. Trey Shackelford, Hall of Fame, class of 2014. Eric Schmidt, Hall of Fame, class of 2017. Allison Cuneo, Hall of Fame, class of 2020. Steve Casimir, Hall of Fame, class of 2020. Anthony Fitzgerald, Hall of Fame, class of 2016. And Katie Riley, Hall of Fame, class of 2019. Please join me in one more round of applause for these greats of Villa Julie and Stevenson Athletics. At this time, we ask that all of tonight's inductees come to the main stage for a photo. Cari Baker Biscoe, Julianne Roper Dawson. Heaven Douglas. Stephanie Eyler McKay. And B.J. Miller. And now, I would like to introduce the president of Stevenson University. Please give a warm welcome to Dr. Elliot Hirshman as he offers a few remarks.
Good evening, and on behalf of our students, faculty, staff, and alumni, it is my great pleasure to welcome you. This is an amazing moment for Mustang athletics. We faced the pandemic with boldness and resiliency, and our student athletes continue to lead the process of campus renewal. This fall, we've begun to compete on our new East Campus, and the development of this amazing home for Mustang athletics continues. Thank you to CFO Melanie Edmondson, athletics directors Brett Adams, our coaches, our trainers, our athletics department staff, our student athletes, and all of the families, many represented here tonight, who have, no matter what the obstacles, moved our athletics programs forward. Please join me in recognizing everyone who's contributed to Mustang athletics this year. Tonight, as we recognize those who set the standard for our community, we also reflect on the central role of athletics at Stevenson. Our athletic programs inspire us. The dedication of our student athletes, you'll hear about tonight, their grace and skill, the thrill of competition. As we see, athletic brings us together, it unites us as a community, and it helps our student athletes develop the grit and determination that stands them in good stead long after their playing days are over. Tonight we're going to celebrate the members of our community who did this best, who stood out and created a proud legacy. I want to give special recognition to the late Chris Noya, beloved professor and colleague and mentor to so many students. And so to all of the members of this year's class, we're proud of you, and we congratulate you on your achievements. You and your accomplishments will forever be a part of Stevenson history. Thank you all for joining us, and we're glad you're here for this very special night.
Thank you, Dr. Hirshman. To help illustrate the university's rich athletic history and tradition, please turn your attention to the video screens to see just how much we have accomplished in over 2 decades of membership in the NCAA in Division III.
In 1990, the Villa-Jolie College Board of Trustees decided to pursue a wider scope of sports that would enhance campus life. The college began fielding a men's lacrosse club team competing against local community colleges and other college club teams. In 1994, Villa-Jolie joins the ranks of the NCAA at the Division III level, sponsoring 11 sports.
In the 1998-99 academic year, women's volleyball and softball were sponsored, bringing the sport total to 14. The following spring, baseball becomes the 15th intercollegiate sport. In November 2000, women's soccer becomes the first team in school history to make an appearance in the NCAA tournament, advancing to the Sweet 16. In May 2003, the men's lacrosse team wins the NCAC South Region Championship, marking the first ever postseason title for a Villa Julie athletic team.
Men's basketball becomes the first team in school history to win a conference championship, winning the 2007 NEAC title game. That spring, men's lacrosse becomes the first program in school history to receive a national ranking, as the Mustangs are ranked at number 17 in the USILA Coaches Poll.
In 2008, men's lacrosse has 3 players named All-American, marking the first selections in school history. In June 2008, the Board of Trustees of Villa Julie College voted unanimously to change the name of the institution to Stevenson University.
Stevenson announces the addition of football as its 20th intercollegiate sport, joining the Middle Atlantic Conference as an associate member in football in 2010, becoming a full member in 2011.
During the summer of 2011, Stevenson announces the addition of women's ice hockey as its 23rd intercollegiate sport. In 2013, men's lacrosse became the first team in school history to win a national championship, with a 16-14 victory over RIT at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia.
In 2015, Stevenson pushes its total of intercollegiate sports to 27, with the addition of women's beach volleyball and men's ice hockey. In 2022, acrobatics and tumbling begins competition as the 28th intercollegiate sport. Later that year, women's beach volleyball wins the AVCA Small College National Championship.
In August 2022, Stevenson makes history again with the addition of men's beach volleyball, becoming the first NCAA institution to sponsor the sport at the varsity level.
And now it is my pleasure to introduce Stevenson's first and only athletic director for a few words, Brett Adams.
Hi, I'm Brett Adams, Director of Athletics here at Stevenson University. This is the 75th anniversary this year of Villa Julie College in 1947 starting, and then us becoming Stevenson University in 2008. It is also my 29th year as athletic director. I started in 1994, and I'm very fortunate to have seen every athlete come through the athletic department since that time. I'm really proud of those experiences. This is one of the most enjoyable nights that I have in my career of watching our legends come to life and being honored this way at our Hall of Fame induction. Individuals that we're inducting tonight, you'll hear many things about and great things about them tonight. So I won't spoil it, but just a few highlights. We have a couple lacrosse players who were historic in their success on the field and helping us to national prominence. We have a women's soccer program that was led by a tremendous two-sport athlete. The women's soccer program was historic in its second NCAA tournament run and beating a very good conference opponent in a very good conference. And in addition to that, we have a softball pitcher. We have a legendary lacrosse and field hockey player, a defender who typically doesn't get a lot of the attention, and they typically don't have the great stats, and we didn't have a lot of great stats back then. And then we also have another legend in a soccer player who was really a cornerstone of the belief that we were going to build a great athletic program in the late 90s, and here we are, 29 years later. I'm really proud of the efforts. I'm really excited to hear about our ventures of these great athletes and the great leadership. With this leadership, there is one individual that has really touched many of our hearts at this university, and it is Chris Noya. Chris left us on earth recently, but the amount of effort and work that she put into the athletic department is significant. And I would be remiss to not give some special attention to her. She was one of the ones who helped us academically move forward in athletics. She also, most people don't know, was one of our very first cheerleading coach, because she just knew that we needed some leadership. She just did it after hours to help us. She didn't know a lot about cheerleading, but she knew about students and people. So posthumously, we are honoring Chris Noya tonight, and you'll hear more about her, and I'm really proud to have her family here. Without any further ado, welcome to the 9th annual Stevenson University Dick Watts Athletic Hall of Fame, and I hope you have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Brett. Before we begin with the introduction of this year's Hall of Fame inductees, the Hall of Fame committee would like to take this opportunity to thank Brandy Hall, Stevenson University alumna, for her work on this year's videos for each inductee. How about a nice hand for Brandy Hall? As we present this year's inductees and teams of tradition, I invite all of you to read about their many honors and accomplishments in this year's Banquet program. After a brief introduction and video accompaniment, we will invite each inductee to come forward to make their remarks before receiving their commemorative award. Joining me is Associate Athletic Director and Hall of Fame Committee Chair Paul Cantabine, and Hall of Fame Committee member and Assistant Athletic Director M.C. McFadden. Our first inductee this evening is Cari Biscoe. Cari played 4 years for the field hockey program and 3 seasons for the women's lacrosse team. A member of the Mustang field hockey team from 1997 through 2000, she is tied for 10th in program history with 13 career assists. She also racked up 92 points on 52 goals and 40 assists for the women's lacrosse team over 3 seasons.
When I think of Cari Biscoe as a Villa Julie field hockey and lacrosse player, I think of someone who was so tenacious on the field.
I think one of the coaches, one of the other coaches used to call her Shake and Bake, because her last name is Baker, and she could make things happen. And I guess I always think of her that way.
The characteristics that Cari possesses that make her a Hall of Famer was everything that she brought to the teams that she played on. She was a leader and a great player on both the field hockey and lacrosse teams during her time at Villa Julie.
She is one of those athletes that you're lucky to have in your career. Not all coaches get to have the total package, kind of person that is doing the best that they can as an athlete, always trying to be their personal best, doing for the team, total team player.
I just always remember her making me laugh. She was and is really funny, says a lot of funny things, but then goes out and is the dog on the field.
I am so proud of her that she has gone on not to just play here and excel, but in her own community. I think she coaches. I know that she was doing programs for younger children, and that's just outstanding to see someone that uses their talents and passes them on, and not just the sports, but being a good team player and following the rules and all the things that you want a person to be.
I would say to Cari, well, first of all, I tell her how proud we are of her, and we're so extremely grateful for what she brought to the Village Lily teams that she played on. But I'd also tell her that we're really proud of her because of all of her milestones in her life. Like, she's a wife. She's the mother to 4 kids. They range in ages from 7 to 15. So her life is crazy. She works for the Maryland State Department of Health, and she's an environmental health specialist. So she does all these big things in her life. But she was such a big part of our athletic department when she was here and brought so much to the field in field hockey and lacrosse.
From the class of 2001, it is my honor to welcome Cari Baker Biscoe into the Dick Watts Athletics Hall of Fame.
Good evening, good evening. As you see, thank you for all the wonderful words and speeches, just great. Thank you for this opportunity, the recognition. It's an absolute honor to be standing here. Not to tell you that I'm blessed, my family, and as an inductee. The skills and character I've built academically, athletically, at VJC is a solid foundation I've built in my life. I am so grateful for all these experiences. Before I start telling you my experiences, memories, let me start congratulating my fellow inductees. And thank you, the board members, for this prestigious, and the coaches who have put their time and effort and made this honor possible. Thank you. To all my present past board members, Coach Adams, Fran Fiddler, Coach MC, Mark Hergus, Chip Rouse, Carol Zimmerman, they're just to name a few that I still know and have been here. Thank you. Your foundation is where it all began. It is VJC, the name that opened doors. If you didn't know, that was when I came here, the logo for the day, and it did open doors. And thank you for driving the force to help make me Stevenson University today. What an amazing athletic, academic institution it has become. Stevenson University, thank you. Thank you to the amazing coaches, the dedication, the countless hours and energy to make all these athletes be engaged, value, even know what other or offered outcome came. We became family in those times we spent together. Just to mention a few, the Wooded Way apartments, the long traveling bus rides, the caravans, not to mention the overtime, the meals that we have. Let's see. You are my mentors throughout my life, truly. Thank you to my amazing North Hartford High School coach being here tonight. Barb Waite, she's sitting right there at my table. Thank you for your wonderful, thoughtful words that you just mentioned. To my belated VJC coach field hockey, John Nero. He's not with us today. He inspired me. He was my best version of myself. I swear his bench racial story, Coach Nero, I like to use quotes and phrases, as Coach MC likes to say that I'm funny, but it's priceless when I have quotes that I like to use from TV shows. I tend to not always remember them, so my family has quoted them. They're called Bakerisms, and my family knows all about these. So clearly this happens frequently because they have a name for it. My mom and my husband totally relate to it. It always made my coach Nero laugh. So one day he decided to give me an inspirational book. It was the end of the season. Didn't think very much of it. Years passed. I was invited to his 60th birthday party. Well, Coach Nero thought that maybe I would take that inspiration book, but I gave it right back to him because at that time he needed that because he fought the good fight of that cancer. Coach Nero, I know he's looking over us right now with his smile and his mustache, but he embraced us, and he as an athlete and a friend to me. To my lacrosse coach and MC, Thank you for believing everyone, and thank you for your contribution to help make Stevenson the state-of-the-art facility, molding me to be a player, a coach, and a professional I am today. There are so many great memories. However, there are a couple that stand out. I am a competitive player. Let me tell you, Coach MC loves to run, loves to work out. She's competitive. If you didn't show up on time at practice, you had to run the 10-minute drill. And the practice, and if you didn't complete it in 10 minutes, you were running sprints. 6:30 a.m. was the arrival time. I will not reveal or disguise any real names for confidentiality. But so, Jill, the goalie, she hated mornings, she hated running. The entire team knew, and I think even set alarm clocks for her to make sure she could make that 6:30 time. We knew Jill couldn't make it. And Coach MC, even though we tried, you know, there's a set story in that. I look back now and I get it. Coach MC was trying to instill teamwork. We are in this together. We knew that Jill could never make it to that practice on time, maybe once in a while. We encouraged her. Jill understood she was accountable for her team. We might have not seen that way, but today, I am a coach, and I'm myself instilling these same values. Lastly, the moments that make the memories. Seeing my parents on the sidelines at every hockey and lacrosse game. It was something I will always cherish. The memories of Coach Adam, the athletic director, the Dean of Missions, Mark Hergus, Chip Rouse, Chris Noya, sidelines cheering us on in that small field at VJC. It was always very special. Finally, two moments in my athletic career that I finally remember. First, my senior year, it was a Randolph-Macon game. It was in way. Let's start with those caravan rides that I mentioned before. It's not the broken van the one time out in the middle of nowhere, literally nowhere, or the time the tree busted the side window and I had 1,000 pieces of glasses in my lap, or the time we hired the assistant coach that hated going over bridges and had a phobia of it. Let me tell you, there is plenty of bridges on away games. So let's get back to that Randolph-Macon game. The game was close, it was tied. We also had to score. The clock was running out, we had a breakaway. From the backfield, Woody, my old backfield teammate, passed the ball up to me, I believe, and then to Holly Chatton, who was a former inductee. She scored the goal, and at that moment, everybody just ran to her and celebrated. And she rose that one finger, and you know what? That one finger poked me in my eye. Until today, I remember this, and we were both laughing, but cheering at the same time because we just won the game. But it was just a memory of greatness, and I still am friends with her, and it's just overjoy, I can say. The next memory is my senior year as a lacrosser. I just came back from an ACL injury. That's why I missed the last season. I came back as a lacrosse player, missed a couple practice. Our team was transitioned. It was lots of new athletes. We were still learning how to work together. I remember we were playing at home. The game was getting away, and Coach MC, I needed a sideline talk. I was trying to rely on my experience and skills. I thought I could do everything, but Coach MC said to me, "Baker, you can't do it all. You're not the only player." And it was hard to swallow, but she was correct. I needed to learn to rely on and encourage on my teammates. Coaches, I can be blunt sometimes, but that message really sank into me. Thank you so much for that talk, MC, because I have carried that forward over the years. I have taught my athletes and my own kids the same message. I would like to wrap up in thanking my parents. My mom, Roseanne Baker, my late father, David Baker Sr., my in-laws, Sue and Bob, and my two older brothers. I have too many fond memories to recount. My parents never missed a game in high school or college, even when they were sick. My parents traveled to North Carolina over a spring break for a weekend. Of course, they were sick, living on NyQuil. That's dedication during that trip. My dad actually pulled too far up front in a hotel. And the next morning when he went to pull out, he pulled half the bumper off. It is true die Mustang fans. I love you, Mom, miss you, Dad, and thank you for your loving support. Thank you to my husband, my rock, Rob Biscoe, former VJC class of 2002, for your love and support and understanding. We've been married 18 years, have 4 beautiful children, Addison, Molly, Gianna, and Sullivan. My husband and I encourage to support our children today and share their experience of the academics and athletics. My husband and I have spent countless hours volunteering, coaching, officiating, and in our local recreation programs and support our other athletes. We hope that we have the same impact on the next generation that our coaches and families had for us. With new Stevenson University's state-of-the-art facility, there is no doubt in our minds that our athletes or students can find this inspiration that my family saw for learning and for living. Congratulations to all the past inductees and today's future inductees. Thank you, Stevenson University board member of Dick Walk's Hall of Fame, and all the athletes attended and the coaches. Go Mustangs. Thank you.
Congratulations again, Cari. Our second inductee is Julianne Roper Dawson. Julianne made 88 pitching appearances over her 4-year career, logging 71 total starts. One of the most decorated pitchers in Stevenson history, she holds the program record for strikeouts with 315 and innings pitched with 486.
Hardworking, exacting, just is so focused on doing just the absolute best she can do, no matter what it is. Just the desire to do so well every time she went out and pitched. And in her senior season, I believe she pitched every game. And she was fantastic. And she was like, she knew she had to be the best she could be and do the best that she could do for her team. And that's what I was, amazed by her in her pitching. And I mean, it's hard to pitch every game. It's hard, and most teams have 2 pitchers, but she did it, and she was happy to do it and glad to do it and did well for the school. I was very proud of her. She is so determined, no matter what she does, to achieve the absolute best that she can do and be as excellent and as focused and just to be the best, like in everything. Like, she did that is her main force in doing what she does. So proud of you in your college career and after your college career, in your life, and becoming a fantastic mom and a wonderful daughter.
From the class of 2011, it is my honor to welcome Julianne Roper Dawson into the Dick Watts Athletics Hall of Fame.
Wow, what an honor to be standing up here tonight alongside my fellow Hall of Fame inductees. Congrats to all of you on this once-in-a-lifetime achievement. I want to thank the athletic department as well as the Hall of Fame committee for putting this event together and for all of their hard work that goes into it. Softball has been a part of my life ever since I was a little girl. I started playing in rec leagues, then began playing competitively on travel teams where my love for pitching developed. I couldn't think of anyone better to induct me into the Hall of Fame than my dad, who has been one of my biggest supporters my entire athletic career, along with my mom and my sister. My dad took countless balls to the shins, went to every single game from rec ball through college, wrote me notes in high school on every game day that I still have, which later turned into text messages on college game days. He was always such a calming presence to see from the pitcher's mound. My mom also came to every single game of mine, took me to every practice, and was always my voice of reason. It was amazing to play with my sister on travel teams, our high school team, and for Stevenson. Having her in the dugout with me and hearing her encouragement from first base helped me get through those tough innings. Playing college softball was one of the best decisions I could have made. Those 4 years were some of the best, most formative of my life. I made lifelong friends, learned discipline and time management, especially while juggling a nursing major on top of playing a collegiate sport. I want to thank Steph Meyerson, who had faith in me as a pitcher my freshman year, Chuck Rice, Brian Tanner, and Meg Bose, to name a few, who coached me along the way prior to college and helped me grow into the pitcher that I was. I can't forget my athletic trainers, Greg Penchak and Mike Eubank, who made sure I was always in tip-top shape, wrapped in ice after every game, and ready to give it my all on the mound. There is no pitcher without a great catcher. I can't go on without giving credit to my two amazing catchers from my college career, Lindsay Muller and Sarah DeMaglio, who's here with me tonight. They both made me better on and off the field. From calling all the right pitches to knowing when I needed a breather on the mound to help me regroup. They became two of my best friends who were more like family. This is such a proud moment, and I can't wait to share it with my son and daughter as they get older, to tell them about my experience playing at Stevenson and share so many stories with them of the amazing time that I had here. Thank you all again, and have a great night.
Congratulations again, Julianne. Our third inductee is Evan Douglas. Evan was a three-time All-Capital Athletic Conference selection as a defender. The 2011 USILA National Defender of the Year, Evan received All-American honors twice while ranking third in program history with 136 caused turnovers. He picked up 181 ground balls over 75 career games as a four-year member of the Mustangs.
When I think of Evan Douglas, I think of an incredible competitor and what value he brought to the Stevenson lacrosse team and also to Stevenson University. Evan's characteristics that make him a Hall of Famer, again, is he's a competitor. He's a great teammate. He does whatever he has to do to make his teammates better. And I think that's one of the keys to becoming a Hall of Famer, is that you're making your team better. What value do you bring to your team? What value do you bring to your university? Evan definitely represents achieving excellence. In fact, a quick little story. In 2010, we were playing Salisbury University here at Stevenson. We were actually out of the stadium. We were on our field over there where the men's and women's volleyball courts are. And Evan got hit with a shot right in the chest. He continued to play a little bit as he was spitting blood. We tried to call a timeout to get him off the field. He was very adamant about not coming off the field. And then when we did get him off the field, he wanted to go back into the game. That's the type of competitor he is. He's always achieving excellence, whether it's in the classroom, on the field, with his friends. He was a scholar, All-American. He was a first team and second team All-American, so he has done some incredible things to represent this university. Just crunching the numbers, when you think about it, in 2011, there were 255 men's lacrosse teams playing at the Division III level. Let's just say we estimate 6 defensemen playing in any particular game. That's 1,530 defensemen playing lacrosse at one particular time. Evan was named the outstanding defensive player in 2011 out of 1,530 players. Evan, you were incredible assets to the Stevenson University lacrosse program during your 4 years here. But not only to the lacrosse team, but you represented the university well, you represented yourself well, and you represented your teammates very well. You achieved a lot of things that were not only part of what you do, but part of the qualities that we represent here at Stevenson as part of the lacrosse program. We're very proud of you. I'm proud to be able to speak on your behalf today as you go into the Hall of Fame.
From the class of 2011, it is my honor to welcome Evan Douglas into the Dick Watts Athletics Hall of Fame.
Good evening. Before I get going here, there are 2 things I'd like to share. The first is a disclosure. In my 4 years here at Stevenson University, I failed 1 class, and that was public speaking. So buckle up. The second thing I'd like to share is the story of how I found myself attending this university. It was 2006, and I received a phone call from an unknown number. Having talked to a few coaches at this point, I figured this was just another recruiting call. So as you could imagine, I was excited to see what school this might be. Hello? Hi, Evan, this is Coach Ken Bene with Villa Julie College. How you doing? Virginia? No, Coach Ken Bene, Villa Julie College in Baltimore. Yeah, Virginia? Villa Julie College. Well, as you can imagine, that phone call was cut short. But sure enough, later that night, I Googled Villa Julie College, and though not much popped up at the time, Coach's name sure did. It wasn't too long before I realized who Coach Ken Bene was in the lacrosse world and what he had in store for this program. I figured if I was going to play for someone, who better than a Hall of Famer himself. Coach's #1 motto is family, and I truly felt that from my first visit with him here at Owings Mills, and still do to this day. Another motto Coach always stressed to us as players was, it's not your right to be on this team, it's a privilege. And having that privilege to play for this university has opened up so many doors in life, whether it be friendships, career opportunities, or just learning the game of life itself. The sport introduced me to my wife, and we are expecting a future Mustang this January. Thank you, Coach, for giving a kid from New Hampshire a shot at playing a sport which many didn't think existed outside of Maryland and New York. Coach Pulse, I'm truly thankful for every word you had mentioned in the video. When I was asked to name someone to personally induct me into the Hall of Fame, all I could hear was your voice yelling, "Maryland, Maryland!" And I knew this was enough for me to reflect on so many great memories we've had, and for me to request your words of affirmation. From day one, you pushed me to be the best player I could be. You saw more potential in me than I saw in myself. I want to thank you for helping me reach accolades in this sport I never thought I could never imagine. Again, thank you. To all former and present Stevenson coaching staff, the athletic department, admin, faculty, and everyone a part of the Stevenson community, I want to let you know how much the team and I appreciate your investment in our lives. You run an exceptional program here, on and off the field. It's been an amazing experience from the beginning, and I can only imagine what else you have in store for the university. Again, thank you. And to my mom, thank you doesn't do it justice for everything you've provided me in life. All of your hard work is the reason I have the privilege of being up here tonight, and the reason I had the opportunity to graduate from the university. To this day, I apologize for attending a school 8 hours away, and I also apologize on behalf of Villa Julie College for not having on-demand HD TV with replays, fireworks, and a halftime show for you to watch from afar. It's been such a pleasure seeing so many former classmates, coaches, and faculty this evening. I want to congratulate all the other inductees, both here with us tonight and those in past years, for all that you have accomplished. Because of you and this community, I am beyond grateful to be recognized and admitted into the Dick Watts Hall of Fame. It truly is a great day to be a Mustang. Thank you.
Congratulations, Evan. Our fourth inductee is Stephanie Eyler McKay. Stephanie was a member of the women's soccer and women's tennis teams at Stevenson, the CAC Rookie of the Year in 2008 and Player of the Year in 2009, as well as a two-time All-Region selection. Stephanie capped her women's soccer career, tied for the program lead with 63 career goals, and second in school history with 141 points. She holds the women's tennis program record with 39 singles victories, going 39-13 in singles action with a 31-23 mark in doubles play.
So when I think about Stephanie Eyler, I think about just an exceptional character, just an unbelievable athlete, somebody that really gave everything for the program, and not just for the soccer program, for the athletic department, for Stevenson, and for the tennis program.
She's such a great athlete, obviously well deserving of this honor, but she's such a well-rounded person. I mean, she was an academic All-American, great in the classroom, dual sport athlete, played tennis as well. But to this day, I still stay in touch with her. She invited me to her wedding. I mean, she's a very thoughtful, caring person.
Stephanie Eyler, I feel, is made for the Hall of Fame, and not just for all the accolades that she achieved. I mean, CAC Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, 63 goals, all the wins and single victories for tennis. An unbelievable student that graduated, as one of the highest in her class. But she's in the Hall of Fame because of who she is as a person.
She really was just the perfect role model for what a Stevenson student athlete was, or you wanted to be.
To go along with Stevenson's core values, Stephanie epitomizes achieving excellence and also promoting community. A true teammate on both programs that she competed with at Stevenson. Somebody that worked in the department, that was great with our staff. She also, in her final year, in her senior year, along with Captain Taylor Zimmerman, they did a great community program with the Baltimore Child Abuse Center, where they raised over $3,000 for the program and collected some awards for that. And that's just who she is. She just epitomizes wanting to help the community, and somebody that always gives back and cares for others, and a true teammate who would do anything for her teammates.
Steph, thank you for allowing me to be a part of your great career. This is certainly a well-deserved honor. It was only a matter of time. I think you and I used to joke about that it was only a matter of time before this honor was bestowed upon you.
Stephanie, I'm so proud of you. You are someone that made me a better coach, made me a better person as well. I was a young coach back then, and your patience, your love for your teammates, your love for the program, your ability to get better every day, your work rate, everything. I can't thank you enough for what you gave to the Stevenson women's soccer program back then, for what you did on and off the field.
From the class of 2012, it is my honor to welcome Stephanie Eyler McKay into the Dick Watts Athletics Hall of Fame.
Thank you so much for this amazing honor and to all who made this evening possible. I want to start by congratulating all the other inductees and extend a very special congratulations to all my teammates and coaches on the 2010 women's soccer team being honored as a team of tradition tonight. When I first started playing soccer at Stevenson, I never dreamed I'd be standing in front of you being inducted into the Hall of Fame. As I started to reminisce back through my playing career here, I could not help but smile thinking back to the days when I was just a freshman, too shy to tell Tonya that my name was actually Steph and not Sarah for most of my first year. I'll never forget the time that Graham got stuck in the net at practice, or all of MC's killer workouts, Greg forcing me to take ice baths, playing pickup in the bubble and juggling in the quad, or the way Jason made you feel like you just won the World Cup with all of his celebratory goal music and announcing. There were so many great memories made here. But on a more serious note, soccer has really taught me so much. Resilience, teamwork, commitment, but above all else, it's connected me with some amazing people. I'm very fortunate to have an incredible support network who helped shape and push me to be not just a better athlete, but a better person. I want to take the time to thank them because they are the reason I'm standing here before you tonight. From my first rec coach who encouraged and pushed me outside of my comfort zone to try out for my first club team, to my parents and grandparents who would never miss a game, my teammates who have become lifelong friends, as you can see, amazing coaches who inspired me to ultimately become a coach, like Tags, my assistant coach here. She was such a positive inspiration, and she really pushed me to come back harder and stronger after breaking my foot junior year. And my husband, who I met through soccer and keeps me loving the game every day. I'm so appreciative and grateful for each and every relationship. As I always told the girls I coached, be the teammate you want to play with, be the best version of yourself, and you never know where life will take you. It was a privilege to have played the game at a university with such an awesome and supportive athletic community. Now I look forward to my next chapter and introducing this amazing sport to my daughter. Fingers crossed she loves the game as much as her mom. Thanks.
Congratulations, Stephanie. At this time, we would like to honor our team of tradition. The 2010 women's soccer team clinched the program's first CAC championship with a 1-0 double overtime win against Frostburg State. Jamie Matlock found the back of the net just 38 seconds into the second overtime period, lifting the Mustangs to their second conference crown in school history. The Mustangs rode a 4-game unbeaten streak into the NCAA tournament, going 12-7-1 overall. And now I'd like to present the head coach of the 2010 Stevenson women's soccer team, Graham Miller.
Good evening, everyone. What an amazing event, right? I know how hard the staff here and the Hall of Fame committee work to make this event special for all the inductees and their guests, so thank you to my colleagues for always going above and beyond. I would first like to say thank you and congratulations to the 2022 Stevenson Hall of Fame inductees. With being at Stevenson for 16 years now and handling game day operations, I had the pleasure of witnessing many of the inductees firsthand, and they are certainly worthy of this great honor. Chris Noya. Villa Julie College and Stevenson University was truly blessed in having such a caring role model for our students. Chris truly was a shining light for our students and would have did anything for them. Our 2010 team went on our first international trip to Italy that August before our championship run, and it would not have been possible without the enthusiastic support from Chris. Brett and I met with Chris in Knott Hall to pitch the idea of using the trip as an opportunity for a one-credit option, and she was so excited by the idea. She truly embraced the process of learning by doing. That trip was a memorable one for the team and brought an already close team even closer together, along with building some strong and lasting relationships with the men's soccer program. I know Chip Rouse, who oversaw the one-credit option, has many delightful stories to share. But what happens in Italy stays in Italy. 2010, the glory days when I had more hair. Now, where do I start with this 2010 women's soccer team? Capital Athletic Conference champions. I was only a small piece of this amazing team, and I'm very humbled to be able to give this speech. So if all the 2010 players that were able to be here tonight, please stand up and let's give them a huge round of applause. Roscoe, Ali, Taz, Selmer, Banger, Redo, Jamie, Shannon, Danny, Erica, Steph, and Kat. So good to see you all here tonight. You really make this a special night for me as a coach. This was truly a special program that achieved monumental success in a very tough conference, as Brett Adams said in the video. To put in perspective, we were the only women's program to win a CAC title in the 5 years our sports competed in the conference. We had a squad that was experienced and youthful, with equal parts seasoned upperclassmen working insanely hard to finish out their careers. Thanks, Ali, for that quote. And underclassmen with tremendous potential and work ethic. I will be using the players' maiden names during this speech, as it was at that time. The 5 seniors that year, Alison Humphreys, Katie Amos, Heather Redding, Brittany Banger, and Jess Selmer, were exceptional role models for the younger players on and off the field. Talented student athletes that exemplified Stevenson's core values of excellence, integrity, community, and learning. They helped create a team culture that was competitive, respectful, committed, selfless, and most importantly, fun. I can be a pretty demanding coach at times, but even in practice, we had some fun. I know they loved the 3-goal game, was a big highlight. It truly takes a village to be a successful program. We had the greatest assistant coaches that made my job as a head coach easy. Christina Uri, Hall of Famer Tonya Cristino here tonight. Hall of Famer Cari Decker here tonight. Jamie Zimmerman, great to see her mom Carol, always a big fan. Brittany Tegler, and my good friend Wynn Puffer. All proven winners, all great athletes, and gave so much to the team. They understood the demands of college soccer and really helped get the best from our student athletes. We had the full support from Director of Athletics Brad Adams, athletic trainer Greg Penchek, always took great care of the athletes. A first-class Bermuda grass field, which is great as we're doing this speech as we build our new Bermuda grass fields. It was maintained by Tom Russ, and we also had the greatest parents that supported the team and players through it all. Tailgate mom, Susie Humphreys, helped coordinate the best tailgates after our games in the bubble. Our team photographer, Mr. Bob, captured so many special moments. And to all the parents, especially the ones that traveled near and far to be here tonight, you have no idea how much that support meant to the team. It's great to see the Matlocks here. Always had the best pretzels from Philly. The Caris, I think they always had the best pre-game tailgate. The Humphreys, Basha Madden, the Bangers, and of course the Eylers. Your daughters made you proud. Thank you for all your support. Our team was built on adversity. The 2008 team had lost out on penalty kicks in the CAC quarterfinals to Hood. Then again in 2009 when we lost in the CAC final to Mary Washington, both at home. So it was no surprise this team wanted to get the job done in regulation or at least overtime in 2010. It started with a huge road victory in our conference opener over York, with freshman Mackenzie Calhoun scoring the winner 3 minutes into overtime. Then came a trip to Salisbury later in the season, saw it on the YouTube video, with a sweet left foot, the only left foot shot she's ever had, of Ali from 40 yards led to an overtime win. This was our first ever win over Salisbury in 15 tries. Thank you to our SID at the time, Jason Eichelberger, for always having the best record stats and stories to help me remember. My 3 kids have done that to me. Then there was the final. Frostburg was always a formidable opponent. So for our team, with our 2 amazing keepers who split time, Brittany Ross, Roscoe, most stylish in a helmet, and Lauren Weitzman, anchored by a solid defense. They played so tough to keep it 0-0 after 90 minutes and then 100 minutes. Frostburg had actually entered the final having scored 72 goals. I think my men's soccer team this year has about 20, so there you go. And they had the leading scorer in the nation. Our team played some of the silkiest soccer I've ever seen. So many talented players on the ball, and with new Hall of Famer Stephanie Eyler up top, and many other players that contributed goals when Stephanie was double and triple teamed, we had the confidence to win games. Freshman Jamie Matlock provided the great golden goal winner 38 seconds into the second overtime. A moment that truly arrived from teamwork, determination, and commitment to each other and the program. This team was more than just the success on the field. It was full of leaders, full of players with passion, winners that absolutely hated losing, even in practice, that genuinely cared deeply about each other and wanted to achieve success in everything in life. They have made friendships that will last a lifetime, and I know they will always be there for each other. I know I said it about Stephanie, but this team made me a better coach and a better person. I am grateful and blessed to be a part of their amazing success. They represented Stevenson with honor and pride. Congratulations to our newest team of tradition, the 2010 women's soccer team. We will get you later for a team photo.
Congratulations to a truly special team and a special coach. Our 5th inductee is Richie Ford. Richie tallied 272 points for the men's lacrosse team as a 4-time USILA All-American selection. He totaled 181 goals and 91 assists picking up first team all CAC honors twice, along with second team laurels in 2009.
When I think of Richie, obviously I think of him as a great athlete, but I also think of him as a great friend and a great father. Characteristics of a Hall of Famer, I think of someone that obviously is a great athlete, but someone who people can look up to, people that connect with and that they like. I think Richie embodies a lot of those characteristics. I think he's someone I've just always been friends with, someone that I could always count on, someone that I can ask for advice, or someone that's helps me out in situations. Out of those core values, I'd say achieving excellence. I feel like anything Richie puts his mind to, he's always kind of stuck with it. He's always determined and been able to achieve what he wants to set his goals to. So I just feel like in high school, I just remember constantly being able to, in the lacrosse games with him, we would, if it was a tough game or we needed a score or needed a possession, Richie was always the guy we could lean on. Richie was the guy that got it done. Or if we needed an assist or a goal, Richie was always that guy. Hey, Rich, really happy for you. I'm honored you wanted me to do this for you. Looking forward to spending the evening with you and seeing where this takes us. What I think about Richie a lot, I guess I want to give a shout out to his parents, who there was times growing up, Richie probably wanted to quit lacrosse and become a professional skateboarder, the next Tony Hawk, and I'm glad his parents made him stick with it and put the skateboard down, because obviously he's now become a Hall of Famer.
From the class of 2011, it is my honor to welcome Richie Ford into the Dick Watts Athletics Hall of Fame. Richie was unable to be with us tonight, but wanted to share his gratitude with you all.
Good evening. It is an honor to be inducted. Even though I was a three-time team captain here, giving speeches was never really my thing, so bear with me. First, I'd like to thank the committee for voting me in, Coach for giving me the opportunity, and my parents for everything that they have done for me. Mom, Dad, without your guidance, love, and support throughout my entire life, who knows what I would be doing. I'd also like to give a shout out to my amazing wife, Amy, and the mother of our two beautiful children, Mills and Betsy. I don't know what I would do without you and those two little angels. My mom was an incredible athlete back in the day. At Roland Park Country School, she received the White Blazer Award, which is the school's highest athletic accolade. The White Blazer Award is given not necessarily annually to recognize students who play three varsity sports, are outstanding athletes, and display spirit, cooperation, good sportsmanship, and leadership. She received this award as a sophomore. At the time, was the youngest girl ever to get the White Blazer. My mom still plays tennis competitively. In high school, I thought I was getting good at tennis, so I asked her to play. Long story short, she dominated. It was quite the humbling experience. I think I know where my athleticism came from. Mom, thank you for everything you do for me and our entire family. I love you. My dad has always been my biggest fan. I know if I ever start playing again, he's going to have the schedule hanging up somewhere and will never miss a game. My dad was also my coach for many years. He not only taught me about toughness, never backing down, but what it means to be a good teammate and how to compete. He was a great motivator and always kept it fun. One year, we were undefeated going into the last game of the season. We were losing it at halftime. My dad gave the best speech, got us all fired up and ready to run through a brick wall. We ended up dominating the second half and won the game to complete our undefeated season. Dad, thank you for all that you have taught me about the game and about life. I love you. Lacrosse was huge in the Baltimore area growing up. I fell in love with the game quickly. In the spring, I was either playing lacrosse or I was watching it. If I wasn't out playing with my friends, you'd probably find me banging a ball against the wall in the living room of our house or making goals out of couch cushions in our basement. When I got to Towson High, I made varsity immediately. I did not get as much playing time as I wanted early on, but when I did get in, I made the most of my opportunities. I'll never forget scoring the game winner at Owings Mills in overtime sophomore year. Had a great coach there. He taught us how to be leaders, how to be mentally tough, and reminded us constantly not to take anything for granted. Junior and senior year, we had some awesome teams. Winters and lost to the same team both times. I think I will forever be salty about that. But it was also good motivation going into college. My first year at Stevenson, it was Bill Julianne at the time. I really had to work to get on that starting attack line. We had a great team. I don't think I was announced as the starter until in the locker room right before we went out for the first game of the season. We had a special attack line there with an attackman of the year in Kaz and an NCAA player of the year in Jimmy Daly. I learned so much from both of them, and I think we complemented each other very well. It also helped going up against guys like Jeff Hebert in goal and Evan Douglas, Mike Simon, and a number of other great players on defense in practice every day. We battled hard and made each other better. Coach, thank you again for the opportunity. I know I wasn't the easiest player you ever had to deal with, but thank you for hanging in there with me and always having my back. I grew up watching Coach play and was always a big fan, so when he called me up for the first time, I was like, wow, Paul Canabene wants me to play for him? This is awesome. I ended up doing a year at Randolph-Macon, but I quickly realized I wanted to switch gears and play more competitive ball. Coach welcomed me with open arms when I decided to transfer to Stevenson. Without your guidance and support, I would have never gotten my degree. I cannot thank you enough for that. You gave me and the rest of the team some great advice over the years that I think back on often. One thing you really pressed on us was to not take that time for granted. You reminded us often about what a great opportunity we had in front of us. I will always be disappointed that with such great talent, we never got the chance to compete on the biggest stage, the national championship. I would trade every individual accolade in a heartbeat to share that with my teammates. It's easy to think back and wonder what I could have done differently to get us over that hump. But at the end of the day, I will always hold my head up high, knowing that when the whistle blew and the game started, I left it all out there on the field. So again, what a great honor this is. Congratulations to all the other inductees. Sorry I couldn't make it tonight. And go Mustangs. Thank you.
Receiving the award on Richie's behalf are his parents, Mike and Becky Ford, and his sister, Catherine Robbins. Our sixth inductee is B.J. Miller. B.J. concluded a 3-year career with the Stevenson men's soccer program, ranking second in program history with 22 assists. He added 9 goals during his time with the Mustangs, ranking 9th in program history with 40 career points.
Other than the fact that he's my son and very proud of him, but soccer, it's been his passion for his whole life since he was little tiny. He's very much a team player. You know, he's always been one to share the ball, and he's a leader. He's a quiet leader, you know, and he can take control out on the field and get people where they need to be and that sort of thing. With BJ, the core value of instilling integrity would be probably the top. He's very much that person that wants to be doing the right thing all the time, you know, and lives his life that way, not just on the field, but his life in general. You know, he has his priorities being his, you know, his family, his wife, and his son, and actually still plays ball in a more casual platform than before. And you know, he lives his life that way, and he continues to instill that in his son Gavin. He was always very smallish for his age, and he had red hair everywhere he played. Everyone wanted to know because he was little, and he had his red head out there, and who's that little redhead? Who's that little redhead? And I'll probably go to my grave just that making me smile, you know. My BJ, the little redhead. BJ, you know how proud I am of you, not just on the soccer field, but how you carry yourself and how you're getting through life, and putting your family first, your work ethic. We're very proud of you and love you.
From the class of 2002, it is my honor to welcome B.J. Miller into the Dick Watts Athletics Hall of Fame.
Man, I should have played that video after I spoke. Good evening. Thank you to the Villa Julie Stevenson Athletics Hall of Fame Committee for this tremendous honor. And congratulations to my fellow inductees, both those I'm privileged to join tonight and those who have gone ahead of us. Before I try my best to thank those who have helped me along the way, I'd like to share my Villa Julie experience, as I believe this Hall of Fame honor is a very special part of something even bigger. When considering college options, I had a few to choose from. A large piece was wanting to go to a college that I would feel a part of, not just a number, not just a student. I wanted a chance to make a difference. After touring Villa Julie and speaking to some current students, it just felt right. And recently transitioning from an all-women's school to co-ed, the 8-to-1 ratio may have factored in as well. At the time, we had one campus, one athletic field, and only 4 buildings. The men's soccer program was new. We didn't have our own field or even an athletic conference. We were building our own program, sometimes literally. Our players and coaches would help with field maintenance. I even remember laying sod between seasons. But even then, we enjoyed it, and being part of building something together brought our team and school closer. Though there were no conferences, no playoffs, no awards, we always put the team first. We knew we were laying the foundation for the future. I'd like to thank my teammates. It's impossible to receive this Hall of Fame award without them. They are the reason for my on-field success and how our soccer program was able to grow into what it is today. I'd like to thank Brett Adams, the Stevenson Hall of Fame Committee, and all those involved. This is an honor, and I'm very happy and appreciative to join this group of amazing student athletes from so many programs. I'd like to thank my wife, Jamie. We were dating then, but your ever-present support was just as strong. And I want to especially thank you for your cheering and visual displays of support that created my campus-wide nickname, Buttercup. I'd like to thank my sister, Jill. You were always one of my biggest supporters. Growing up, we had a typical sibling relationship, but became very close during my college years and ever since. Your literary masterpiece, Remembering essay, written during your college years. Yes, I still have it, and it's laminated. You describe me as a protector and someone very important to you. Although I've always felt I needed to be your protector, I've always tried to be someone you would be proud to call your brother. I hope you're proud. I'd like to finally thank my parents. It certainly goes without saying that I would never have had the opportunities in life, including Stevenson, without their love, support, and sacrifices. Starting when I was very young, they would make whatever arrangements they had to make sure I was able to join, play, and be involved in everything. Dad was a police officer and had a part-time job. Although you couldn't make some of my games, I always knew you were rooting for me. And when you could make it, you had your own fans. Because pretty sure you wore that police uniform to games even on your days off. Mom, who couldn't be here tonight because she's not feeling well, was the mother of all soccer moms. No matter what or how, she always made sure I was there. She was a sideline coach, the bus driver, the snack bringer, you name it, she did it. If there was a student athlete parent Hall of Fame, she would definitely be in it. My decision to attend Stevenson was made with some nervousness and hope that it was the right place. Looking back, I know it was. As a famous quote says, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Stevenson made me feel welcomed. They made me feel part of something bigger. And now I feel honored to be inducted into our Dick Watts Athletic Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Congratulations again, BJ. Our final inductee is Christine Noya. Christine retired following 33 years of dedication to Villa Julie College and Stevenson University, ranging from her first position as a special assistant to Dean Rose Dawson to directing academic support, career services, and experiential learning, and finally, as a full-time faculty member.
Passion, joy. She loved Stevenson, and she loved like all the kids here. She had like a drive about everyone. You know, if you came to her and you were in trouble, she would try to move mountains to like help anybody do anything.
The biggest thing about Christine is that she cared more than anybody I've ever known. When I first met Christine, when I came here 19 years ago, she was the first woman to really help me in my plans for the lacrosse program. But then she used a lot of that also to help the athletics program, and she really did a great job. She was so loving and caring. She really made you feel like you were the only person in the world when she was talking to you. That huge smile, everything that she would talk to you about, you just felt so comfortable with her at the end of the day that you felt like you were actually part of her family. And that was one of the great traits that Chris had, is that she made you feel like you mattered more than anybody else in the world at that moment.
You know, you'd come to her, right? Like, you messed up. Like, you got in trouble. And you'd come to her and you'd be nervous to come to her, which you should be, because she would call you out and say, this is, you know, you did make a mistake and this is what you did, but let's figure out a way to fix it.
It was just amazing what Chris would be able to accomplish with so little staff, but she was able to do so much, and the effect that she had on these students' lives was just incredible.
When I was a kid, and it was Villa Julie, and everything was at this Stevenson Road, like, campus and stuff, and I was like, I don't know, maybe 8, 9, or 10, My mom used to get me and my brother dressed up, and she'd be so excited because it was I always remember the lacrosse banquets that we had to go to, and she like loved these lacrosse kids like so much, and she would be like almost giddy to attend.
And I can't tell you, like my alums and other alums you talk to, when they talk about Chris, it's like all they do is smile when they hear about Chris.
Mom, I know you're here, and I know you're watching everybody, and that you're probably like through the moon with your excitement over this honor. We know how much Stevenson meant to you and Villa Julie and all the kids and staff. I'm so sad that I won't be able to see how excited you are right now, but I know that you're here, and I know that you're watching, and I know that you're so excited and so happy, and you deserve this, Mom.
She is always looking down upon us, I know. And Chris, if you're listening, I just want to let you know everybody in this room is looking up now, smiling, and thanking you for all you've done for Stevenson University, knowing that you're looking down upon us and helping us even though you're not here. You're brightening our lives each and every day. And just we all here want to let you know how much we loved you for everything you do. There's nobody better than you, Chris. We love you.
It is my honor to welcome Christine Noya into the Dick Watts Athletics Hall of Fame. Receiving the award posthumously for Chris is Chip Rouse, who worked with Chris for 32 years as a colleague, faculty member, and friend.
I've spent a lot of time thinking about what Chrissy would say if she were here tonight. Of course, she would thank her sister Marie and her brother-in-law Mike Kelly, her brothers Patrick and Greg Deegan, and her stepmother Harriet Deegan for their presence tonight, as well as her friends Zan, Laurel, and Leanne, who came tonight in her memory. Chris was many things to many people: supporter of family, great storyteller, loving mom, hilarious friend, earnest teacher, but above all, she was a trusted advocate for students, and especially for student athletes. She knew how to listen to their woes and knew when sympathy was called for or when tough love was the answer. Chris had great intuition and could see through a flimsy excuse or support a real concern. She knew she could always find a solution when things went wrong. She always found time to listen to a problem, talk through it, and then put the resolution to work. Chris believed in an endless number of chances for students who were trying to do the right thing, and she had the ability to discern who those students were. She touched the lives of so many people, and the athletes knew they always had an ally in her if they were serious about getting back on track. When coaches would approach her about one of their players needing help, Chris never saw this as a burden or a demand. She loved her job. She loved helping people and showing them how success is achievable. In her many roles at Villa Julie and Stevenson, and she had many, as a special assistant to the dean, as head of academic support services, as assistant vice president of experiential learning and career services, as one of the faculty in the halls, and as a full-time professor in the Department of Business Communication, Chris always put students first. She believed in the university's mission to treat students as individuals, supporting their academic and personal needs, and helping them in self-discovery. She was dedicated to advocating for whatever it took to help them succeed. She took it upon herself to make sure that Villa Julie's cheerleaders in the 1980s had a coach herself, and she attended every game they cheered at. She advised them on makeup, tied their hair ribbons, and even gave them counsel on how to cheer louder. I never actually saw her demonstrate a cheer, but I wouldn't doubt that happened. Chris herself was an athlete in her younger days, and this may have given her a special understanding of the anxieties, pressures, and workload of the student athletes with whom she worked. Being a mom of 2 children, Annie and Manjo, also provided her with a special understanding of what it takes to be a good advocate and still allow room for students to learn from their mistakes. Her big heart was just what many student athletes needed. And so this nomination speaks to her constancy, her collaboration, and her connection to all things Mustang. She would have loved this night and this inclusion. Thank you. And now, can we ask her siblings who are here tonight, Marie, Pat, and Greg, to come forward and accept the gift for her.
It's been a special night. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for this annual celebration of those who have helped to build Villa Julie and Stevenson athletics into what it is today. If you know of deserving former student athletes, coaches, or other contributors who are worthy of recognition in the Dick Watts Athletics Hall of Fame, feel free to nominate them. The nomination form is located in the Hall of Fame section on GoMustangSports.com, and nominations are due by February of 2023 for consideration for next year's class. All nominees must have concluded their career in 2012 or earlier. Before we go tonight, a reminder, please feel free to take the flower arrangements from the center of your table. Once again, thank you for your attendance at tonight's event. We hope to see you back next year. And please, arrive home safely. Thank you.